Hey everyone, in this video we're going to talk about lower bound and upper bound searches on sorted lists. So imagine you have a sorted list like this and you want to maybe find not just if 2 is here and not just the index, but the index of the very first 2. So for example, that would be at index 1. And there could be multiple 2s, so I have 4 right here. And so there could be at index 1, 2, 3, and 4, but I only want the one at index 1. And then maybe let's say I want to find the index of 2, but such that it is the last 2. So maybe that might be index 4. Because this 2, it's the very last one, and it's at index 4. So how do we actually go about doing this? Well, with the typical binary search, which is what we might use here, we'll be able to narrow down, but we'll keep picking some sort of 2 here. We won't actually know which we might pick. So maybe it could pick this, it could pick this. It really depends on the contents of the entire list. So if I add on a few elements like 8, 9, 9, 10, 100, if I keep adding on those elements, it's going to change the 2 that I can actually pick from this using a binary search. So we're going to have to modify it a little bit. So that's where we can end up using a lower bound or upper bound search. So to demonstrate those, let's just delete these. And let's say that we can just define a typical binary search, because the lower bound and upper bound searches are very similar to a regular binary search. So let's first define that. So with the binary search, we'll have def binary search, and we'll want to find x in a list. And we'll start by defining our lower and upper bounds. So we'll say low up is equal to 0 and the length of the list, and that'll help us to keep narrowing down our range. And then to actually do that, we'll say while low is less than up, and we'll get the middle element. So the middle element is going to be accessed by index mid, and that is equal to low plus up divided by 2. So that's halfway in between. Once we have that, we want to compare our current element at index mid to the element that we are searching for. So before I do that, I'll just get rid of this colon. I accidentally put that there. So here we have our conditions. We'll say if x is equal to list at mid. And if that's the case, we found our element. So we would, in this case, return mid. Now, if x is less than mid, so elif x is less than list at mid, that means that we have to adjust our upper bound because now our item we know is no longer in that upper area. So we'll say that up is equal to mid, and otherwise x is going to be in the upper half of our range. So we have to adjust low. So else low is equal to mid plus 1. So that's with the binary search. But let's see what happens when we try to find the very first 2 with our binary search. So I'll just open IPython on the side here. So all my functions and variables have been loaded in, so I'll just say binary search, and I want to find 2 in nums. So when I run that, I get index 3. Well, index 3, if we look at this, that's going to be 0, 1, 2, 3. Index 3 is indeed a valid index where I find 2, but it's not the very first index. And additionally, if I add on a few numbers like 9, 10, 11, let's say I add those on, and let's run this again, we'll load everything in, and we'll say binary search for 2 in nums. We'll find that we're at index 4. So now our binary search got us this very last index. So it's very unreliable. It'll get us an index of a 2, but it won't get us the very first one or the very last one. So here's where the lower bound and upper bound functions come into play. So to define our lower bound function, we'll start with that first. Let's actually just duplicate this entire thing. So we'll just rename this itself. We'll say lower bound. And the contents of our function's basically going to be the same, except for one part. So when we're doing a lower bound search, every time we see the element that we're looking for, so for example, if I find this 2, then maybe it might not be the very first 2. So I want to keep narrowing down my range so that I'm in the lower half. And if I'm doing that, that means I have to check if x is either equal to list at mid, or if it's less than or equal to list at mid. And at this point, I'm not going to return mid because I don't want to return that particular location. Like if I find index 3 right here, that's not what I want to return. I want to return index 1. So I'll remove this part, and I'll remove this part. And we just leave it to up is equal to mid. And then this else clause stays the same, because if I haven't found the element I'm looking for, then I just simply want to increase my lower bound. Now once we do all this, we have to ask ourselves, what exactly are we going to return here? Well, we can return either low or up, because at that point, low is going to be equal to up, so we'll just say return low, let's say. And that's all that we really have to do here. So let's go ahead and run our code again. And now note that we've renamed our function lower bound, so we'll just use that. So we'll say lower bound 2 in nums, and we should get index 1. And that's what we get here. And let's actually maybe shift this down a little bit by just removing these elements here. And before, when we use our binary search function, we found that that moved it from index 4 to index 3. But as we see here, when we run this, we should still get, when we execute this code again, we'll get 1. And that's going to return this index right here. So it looks like it's always going to work with lower bound. Now let's think about the upper bound function. So with upper bound, we can actually just take this whole function and duplicate it. So I've just duplicated it there, and I'll move this down here. So the key difference between a lower bound and upper bound is that every time we see our element, so for example, if I see this 2 right here, rather than limiting my range to a lower range to the lower half, I wanted to limit it to the upper half. So in order to limit it to the upper half, rather than saying less than or equal to, only if it is less than list at mid do I adjust up to be mid. Otherwise, low should be equal to mid plus 1, because now we want to adjust our lower bound in the event that x is either equal to or greater than list at mid. And so let's rename this as upper bound. And we can run this. And now we see that upper bound at 2 nums should actually get us an index that is 1 greater than the last index of 2. And the reason for this is because the upper bound function is actually a function that's supposed to tell us where is the last place that we can insert a particular element. Now, getting back to what we were asking before, if I want to find the last index of this element itself, then all I have to do is say upper bound at 2 comma nums minus 1. And that's going to get 4, and that is indeed the index of the last element. Now, if you look at the code here, they're very similar. The only change we see here is on line 5 and on line 15, where on line 5 we included an equal sign in our less than, whereas on line 15 we didn't include that equal sign. So that leads us to think maybe we can make this function more efficient so that we don't have to repeat things. So the way we can do this is we'll just define a generic lower bound / upper bound search. So we'll call it def bound search, and we'll say x and lst, and we'll copy whatever we have here. So low up is equal to 0 length of list, and we'll say while low is less than up, we'll set the mid is equal to low plus up divided by 2. And at this point, rather than checking if x is less than or equal to list at mid, we'll say if, and then here we're going to use a function that the user provides. So we'll have to provide that as a parameter, and we'll call this compare. And this is going to basically be a comparison function. So if compare x and list at mid, and if that results in some sort of returned true or returned false value, then we'll say that up is equal to mid. Otherwise, we'll say that low is equal to mid plus 1. And then again, we can just return low. So to actually use our lower bound versus upper bound, or to distinguish between the two, we should define 2 lambda functions for that, or just 2 regular functions. It's up to you. So I'm going to call them lower and upper. I'll say lower is equal to lambda x lm, such that x should be less than or equal to element. And upper is going to be pretty much the same, except that this is less than rather than less than or equal to. So when Python goes to run this, it's just going to replace this compare function with what we have here, and this returns true or false. So our code should work out. So let's go ahead and load this into IPython. And now we can say bound search. Let's say I want to find 2 and nums. And looks like I forgot one parameter, so let me actually include that. So it should be 2 nums, and then I also have to provide my comparison function. In this case, it's going to be lower. And then I run this, and I see I get 1. Well, maybe I want the upper bound, so I'll do the same thing, except I'll replace this with upper. And now I have 5. So that pretty much covers this generic bounded function for searching in a sorted list. And this has all sorts of applications. So let's say I want to find maybe the number of 2s that are in my list. Well, of course, I could just load all of this into a hash map, or in Python, a dictionary, and keep count that way. But the issue with that is that if we have a sorted list, then if we're trying to put everything into a map, then that's going to be a time complexity of big O of n. Whereas if we want to just search for the first or the last element using this bounded search, then that's actually just a log of n. So it's much quicker to use like this. So if I want to find the number of 2s, let's say, I'm going to say bound search 2 nums upper, and then I can subtract bound search, and then I'll say 2 nums and lower. So here I'll just drag this over. So we're just using the same function, same parameters, except that we're subtracting the upper bound minus the lower bound. And then we see that there are 4 of these. And sure enough, we count there are 4 2s. And we can even do this for, let's say, another one. Let's say I want to find 5 instead. So I'll search for 5 here, and I'll search for 5 in the upper bound function as well. And before we run this, we should see that we get 2 5s. So we run this, I'll move to the end here, and we get 2. So it looks like this works. And what if I want to find something that's not in our list? Maybe I want to find a 7. Well, 7's obviously not here, so let's try that. So when we search for a 7, what's going to happen is the lower bound function is going to return the index that's right below that, and the upper bound function is going to return that same index. Because after all, this lower bound, upper bound function, they're all just ways for you to figure out where to insert a particular number to maintain a sorted list. So for example, if I want to search for 7, I'm going to end up at this very last index here, because I can then insert 7 here and I'll still have a maintained sorted list. And same thing with the upper bound function. It'll still insert at this location. So I'll run this and I do get 0. So that's it for this video, and I hope this was helpful.